Welcome to this QuickBooks Online tutorial for beginners 2019 on how to clear out old unpaid bills in QuickBooks Online. My name is Matt Hultquist with the QuickBooks University, and this happens pretty frequently in a lot of businesses, and I want to show you how to fix this. Okay, so here's the typical situation. All right, so if I go up to the Quick Create menu and I go to Pay Bills, okay, so I see here I've got a bill to PG&E. So a lot of times what will happen is these bills will be recorded, okay? So they'll be entered correctly into QuickBooks. But then for whatever reason, there might be multiple people within QuickBooks, and some people know how to use it, some don't. Who knows what the situation will be. But somebody will go in and they will go to this Expenses tab, okay? And they're going to say, okay, record a new expense. And they're going to say, okay, you know what? I had to pay PG&E this amount, payment date. I used, a check. And you'll see over here, it'll pop up and say, hey, you've got a bill out there. Do you want to add this and pay your bills or leave it open? Okay. And, for whatever reason, this is a nice little safety net where it'll say, hey, you've got to pay this bill. It's outstanding, etc. Do you want to pay this bill? For whatever reason, people won't, and they will just put in, okay, utilities. We'll say gas and electric, and they're going to put in the amount, 86.44. Okay. And they're going to go ahead and record this. Okay, so when they record this, what happens in your financial statements, at least on what's called an accrual basis financial statement, is now you have doubled the expense. Okay, so when you put in the bill, you've got this utilities expense for $86.44, and then when you put in the expense, you've got another expense for $86.44. So we have duplicated the expense. Now, the other thing too is when you go to pay the bills, you're going to see, let me go to pay bills. You're going to see that we still have this bill outstanding. So we have the bill outstanding. It's just going to hang out there. You don't owe it because you've paid it and you've recorded the expense. Okay, so we need to know how to fix this. Okay, and this is pretty common. All right, so the easiest way in QuickBooks Online to go ahead and fix this, let me close out of this, is if you go back to these expense transactions, all right, and you can even go, if we go to our chart of accounts, okay, this may even be easier. Let me go back over here. I think I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, chart of accounts. Okay, we go to see our chart of accounts. If you go to the checking account and view register, because a lot of times what happens is people have multiple bills outstanding that have been paid already, just like this, but the bill is still hanging out there. Okay, so the easiest way is you just go in to this PG&E. So you have to identify each one of these that is out there. Go to the expense in your check register. Okay, and you want to change this account. Instead of utilities, you're going to change it to accounts payable. Okay. That's step one. So we want to save this. All right. Now we save that to accounts payable. So this is going to show up as a credit for PG&E. Okay, so we have a bill out there and we have a credit. Now the next thing we need to do after you change these to accounts payable is you need to go and pay your bills. All right. So when you check on PG&E, you're going to see, and in this QuickBooks Online sample company file, we have the option checked in accountant settings to go ahead and apply credits automatically. You don't have to do this. You can turn this off and manually apply credits, which you may want to do if you have multiple bills that were paid and you need to apply credits in a certain order. But in this case, they're automatically turned on. Okay, so we check this off and you see that it applies that credit. All right, so when we went into the check register and we changed the account to accounts payable instead of the utilities expense, it will now show up as a credit for PG&E. All right, so we want to apply this credit So the actual payment is going to be 0 because we're just applying the credit, and this will clear this bill out of here. So if we say save, okay, now you'll see that the bill is gone. All right. So for every one of these old bills, first step, go through your check register, or it could be your credit card register. It all depends on how the bill was paid. You want to go through and you want to find those and change the account from whatever the account is to accounts payable. Then go into the pay bills function and check it off and use those credits against those bills. This will get your financial statements back, so the expense is only recorded once, and it will clear these old unpaid bills out of QuickBooks Online. Any questions whatsoever, please feel free to leave a comment below. And also head over to the QuickBooks University. I've got a full training course there, really designed for people that need to know how to use QuickBooks correctly from start to finish. And the really cool thing, I think, is that I do answer members' personal QuickBooks questions. Okay. I do that in a number of different ways. We have a private Facebook group. I do it via email. I have been known to make personal videos for people to show them how to do things, as well as a forum, which has, I think now 8 years of questions and answers that you can search and go back through and look at and find answers to your questions. So it's an incredible resource. I've also got 3 free videos over there where you can learn about the most common mistakes that people make in QuickBooks Online, as well as QuickBooks Desktop, and how to avoid them. So head over there now, qbuniversity.org.